Let's move to the next topic of laws. Well, although we have discussed about laws as a part of the political system, still, I want to give a special attention to the principles behind the laws of governance. These laws are like the lifeline of governance. If we have to please Vishnu, we must follow his laws. If Vishnu's laws or God's laws are maintained, then governance has meaning. No matter which political style it is. But if these God laws are not maintained, then even if we have the best political system and the social system, then it's all a failure. Because following the orders of Krishna and satisfying him is the prime goal of any governance. So understanding this important subject properly is very, very, very important. And I simply cannot stress its value enough. So I beg your special attention here. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes, I understand. I'm ready to.
Good. So, as we said, first thing is that God is at the top of all cosmic manifestation. So he is the supreme leader. We understand that it is a fact that there is God on the top of all cosmic manifestation activities. So laws are given by the supreme leader only. And the laws given by the supreme head of cosmic manifestation, that is religion. It is a fact that there is some brain behind the cosmic manifestation, and if we know what is that brain, how it is working, that is scientific understanding, and the laws given by God is religion. That is our simple definition. A religion cannot be manufactured as law cannot be manufactured. Laws means actually dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito. For God said that is actual religion or law, which also means that the law of God is same as religion or dharma, and dharma cannot be manufactured by humans. It can be done only by God. Laws means actual dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito. For God said that is actual religion or law. The law given by God is religion. Understand?
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Now, as laws are same as dharma, it is also same as Bhagavad Gita because that's God's words. Because king is representative of Krishna, imam vivasvate yogan pruktavan aham avyayam. He first of all said the laws, the Bhagavad Gita, which is so important for human civilization, millions of years, at least 40 millions of years, it was spoken to the sun god. And the sun god gave it to his son Manu, and his son Ikshvaku inherited from Manu. This way, the absolute law is coming down by disciplic succession.
Yes, laws equals dharma equals Bhagavad Gita.
Right. Now, the laws or Bhagavad Gita is coming to us via disciplic succession. This way, the absolute law is coming by disciplic succession. And formerly, India was governed by monarchy. They received the law of God by disciplic succession. They executed. Imam Rajarshiyo Viduhu. They understood the science of Bhagavad Gita from saintly person, exalted Brahmins.
Yes, disciplic succession. Got that.
Good. Now, in ISKCON, who is our connection to disciplic succession? From which Acharya ISKCON learns Bhagavad Gita or Dharma?
Obviously, Srila Prabhupada.
Exactly. And he is the founder Acharya and head of ISKCON always.
Right.
Srila Prabhupada is the head Acharya and the one via whom we get our lessons of Bhagavad Gita, that is the laws. So we are supposed to take the laws via Srila Prabhupada as far as ISKCON is concerned. Make sense?
Of course, of course. That obviously is clear.
Good. Now, Prabhupada is also not giving knowledge from anywhere or nowhere. He is quoting standard books for codes of religion. Standard books like the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Manu Samhita, and other authentic literatures. Leadership is already there. Krishna. Just like Arjun is learning from Krishna. So if you learn from Krishna, you become perfect leader. But we do not take Krishna's instruction. We manufacture our own ideas. That is failure. Otherwise, in our country, so many learned sages, especially Krishna is there, and their books are there, their instructions are there. Because king is representative of Krishna, Imam Vivasvate Yogan Proktavan Aham Avyayam. He first of all said the laws, the Bhagavad Gita, which is so important for the human civilization millions of years, at least 40 millions of years. It was spoken to sun god, and sun god gave it to his son Manu, and his son Ikshvaku inherited from Manu. This way, the absolute law is coming by disciplic succession. If we want at all to end this anomaly of a godless civilization, we must follow the principles of revealed scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam and follow the instructions of a person like Sri Shukadev Goswami, who has no attraction for material gain. The rules and regulations were already set forth by great sages like Manu, Yajnavalkya, Parashar, and other liberated sages. And the enactments were all suitable for all ages in all places. Therefore, the rules and regulations were standard and without flaw and defect. Actually, the qualified Brahmins are meant to give direction to the kings for proper administration in terms of scriptures like the Manu Samhita and Dharma Shastra of Parashar. So, for direction of governance, Srila Prabhupada has referred to a few other standard books like the Manu Samhita and Parashar Samhita. These should be used as the codes of religion and has principles for governance, for good governance.
Okay, I understand. So, these are the scriptures, I think, whose references are used by the Brahmins to guide the leaders, right?
Exactly. And this brings us to the next step, the advisory board of Vaishnava Brahman. They used to be learned in these codes of religion or laws given in the authorized books as Manu Samhita and Bhagavad Gita, and they would guide the leader by those books. Kings like Maharaj Parikshit had their council of advisors, and all the members of that council were either great sages or Brahmin of first order. They did not accept any salary, nor had they any necessity for such salaries. The state would get the best advice without expenditure. They were themselves Samadarshi, equal to everyone, both man and animal. The kings or leaders, they were trained by first class Brahmin, saintly persons. They abided by the order. There was a committee, advisory committee. Even at the time of death, he is asking advice from saintly. What is my duty? That is the king. He is not doing anything whimsically. There was a consulting board of learned Brahmins and saintly persons. They would advise the monarch how to rule. The learned Brahmins would advise the king in terms of those standard books of knowledge with reference to the particular situation of time and place.
Right.
So, the laws would come via the standard authorized books to the Vaishnava Brahmins, and they would advise the king.
Yes.
Now, not only the Brahmins got the knowledge of God's laws or Dharma or Bhagavad Gita via disciplic succession, but so did the kings. Because king is the representative of Krishna, Imam Vivasvate Yogan Proktavan Aham Avyayam, he first of all said the laws, the Bhagavad Gita, to sun god. And sun god gave it to his son Manu, and his son Ikshvaku inherited from Manu. This way, the absolute law is coming by disciplic succession. And formerly, India was governed by monarchy. They received the law of God by disciplic succession.
Right.
And the king or Kshatriya leader passed down this order of God, gotten by disciplic succession, as the state laws to the general public. The Kshatriyas should take advice from the Brahmins or Vaishnavas and make laws accordingly.
I see.
Now, since the king or Kshatriya leader is giving God's laws to general public, he is the absolute governing body in the state. Therefore, he is, to the common man, he is the supreme. The king is supposed to be the representative of God in the state. So, above the law means because king is perfect by abiding the laws of Krishna, he cannot be subjected to any subordinate laws. For example, there cannot be, just like king's mercy. Even one is condemned to death, but if the king's mercy is there, that he should be excused, he should be free. Nobody can check. So why is this? Because king is representative of Krishna.
Do you mean to say that leader monarch can give any order he likes and everyone has to follow?
As I earlier said, no. God, the king is called Nrupadev or Naradev. Although he is human form of body, he is God. But his perfection is there only when he follows Krishna's order. Therefore, monarchy, the law, king's order is final. So everything depends on the king's accepting the absolute instructions of God. So, king in Vedic civilization, the king was absolutely following the regulation given by God, and it was confirmed by saintly persons, sages. Then it was executed, not whimsically. There was an advisory board of monarchy always. They were not politicians, diplomats, but they were all saintly persons, knew very well the Vedas, and they used to guide the monarch. The ministers were helping, but the king was educated by God's direct instruction. As Krishna said, Imam Vivasvate Yogan Proktavan. Does it all make sense to you, my friend?
Yes, very much, very much. To be frank, I had never seen the concept of state laws in this perspective. Truly, if we miss to see the meaning behind the daily life concepts like this, like the laws of state, we will miss the whole point. And they all start to appear discrete, separate from the absolute truth.
Very true, very true. We'll never really know the real depth of what Srila Prabhupada has given to us.
Sure, sure. I think we'll do our sincere best to understand what he said and follow him as it is to the best of our capability.
Certainly, I'm happy that you are understanding the depth and the seriousness of the matter of all this.
Thanks to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, thanks to Prabhupada. Now, any questions regarding the laws?
Yes. Um, uh, Prabhuji, why is the society missing the aim of life?
Culture means knowing the aim of life. Without understanding the aim of life, a man is a ship without a rudder. But at the present moment, we are missing the goal of life because there is no head department in the society. The whole human society is now lacking real Brahman to give advice to other departments. Unfortunately, as materialistic education advances, we are missing the aim of life.
Oh, so because we are missing the head department, that's why we.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the principle behind the God's laws?
Such laws of the Supreme are generally known as the codes of religion under different conditions. But the principle of religion everywhere is one and the same, namely, obey the orders of the Supreme God, the codes of religion. If we want at all to end this anomaly of godless civilization, we must follow the principles of revealed scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, and follow the instructions of a person like Sri Shukadev Goswami, who has no attraction for material gain.
Okay. So you mean the king or the administrator must be obeying the orders of God, right?
Yes, we say that the king's name is Naradev, God in the human form, and king is offered that respect. King is respected. Why? Because he is to be considered God's representative. So, therefore, as God's representative, just like we are working as God's representative, we present ourselves as God's representative, Krishna's representative, then what is our duty? What is our business? What we are doing? We are trying to lead others to God consciousness. That is the proof that I am God's representative. I am not teaching them anything else. Similarly, if the state or the state executive head, the president or king, is taken, accepted as God's representative, his first and foremost duty is to train the citizens to become God conscious. If he is lacking in that duty, he is not fit to become the executive head. Any state who is neglecting this duty, he immediately becomes unqualified to hold a state of office. Either he may be president or the king. Therefore, a king is supposed to be saintly. He must understand the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, and he should introduce educational system so that people may understand Bhagavad Gita or the science of God. That is the first duty of the state of the king.
Yes, so the state or the executive is not independent.
No. If the state is representative of God, then how he is independent? That is less intelligent. Citizen or everyone is independent, but everyone is dependent on the state laws. Similarly, every state may be independent in their individual capacity, but he is dependent on God's order. That is the position. That is the perfection.
But whenever there are disputes arising between states, there must be war.
Yes, that is natural. Just like in our ordinary lives, citizens they disagree. They go to the court.
But some philosophers sometimes they say that there is no higher body between two jurisdiction between states, that it can be settled by war. There is no court or higher authority for judging between states.
There is higher body if there is religion, if there is philosophy, if there is a learned section, Brahmins, Krishna conscious people. There is higher authority. You have killed all these things, but the system is there. Therefore, the Brahminical culture is above the Kshatriya culture. Therefore, this division must be there. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The administrators, the kings, they are the Kshatriyas, but above them, the Brahmins are there. But because there is no Brahminical class, they have all killed them. Therefore, he says there is no authority. But it's not like that. But if there is war, that is Dharma Yuddha. Just like Battle of Kurukshetra is concluded by Sanjay, that what is that? Yatra Yogeshwara Haryu. Yatra Yogeshwara Haryu. He says, Dhritarashtra, my dear sir, I think the side on which Krishna is there, he will be victorious. So actually, even there is war. The party who is God conscious, they will be victorious. Yatra Yogeshwara Haryu. What is that verse? Huh?
What about between America and Germany, for instance? Neither of them were God conscious in the World War.
Then it is demoniac. This is not justified war. This is where two demons we fight, just like cats and dogs fight. That's all. But there is, according to Vedic literature, Yuddha, Dharma Yuddha.
What does that mean?
Dharma Yuddha, on behalf of the Supreme God. That is called Dharma Yuddha. Just like Arjun. Arjun, they are not fighting, but Krishna said, yes, I am on your side, you fight. That is Dharma Yuddha. And therefore, Arjun became victorious because God was on his side. That is Dharma Yuddha. So, if you declare war on the principles of God consciousness, that war is justified and you will be victorious. This is the conclusion. We say yes, war must be there or must be there, but the party who has got Krishna's support, they are victorious. They are right party. This is our philosophy. We don't say that war should be stopped. War must be there because this world is material world. But there must be war, opposite elements. But the party who has got Krishna's support, that party, that in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, we don't say stop war, but we say if you fight, fight on behalf of Krishna. The conflict you should take the right side. Yes, that is real progress. Right side means which side Krishna is. That is the instruction on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Does it make sense to you?
Yes. So basically, fighting cannot be avoided because this is material world. But in the fight, we should take Krishna's side, and then we'll be definitely victorious.
Yes. Don't fight like demons. No side, no Krishna's side, and you just keep fighting for something. No, don't do that. But Dharma Yuddha, you should always take Krishna's side. Make sense?
Yes, yes.
Nice. So, this finishes the topic of God's laws. As discussed earlier, the happiness and distress of no one can be changed. It is governed by superior powers. The only benefit that we can do to humanity is help everyone obey God by obeying the laws given by God. This will help everyone to correct one's original sin, that is, disobedience to God. These laws are thus, in a way, the lifeline of the governance system. If God's laws are maintained, then governance has meaning. Otherwise, not.
Very right.
Hare